If Peter recognizes this, I now realize how true it is that God does not show favoritism in Acts chapter 10, verse 34, the last part. Why do we treat each other differently? By Marta Daza at Concordia University. So, how do social identities, culture, ethnicity, and race impact you and your school? As a Hispanic woman, social identity touches me deeply. I am part not only of one but two minorities. I am a woman and I'm also a Hispanic person. I really try not to see color, race, culture, or gender. I see humans only. Unfortunately, as much as I want to say that I am free from bias, that will be a lie. I have found myself at school, for example, comparing students from the same family because of the way they behave or because of their the academic performance. I have also found myself comparing women because of the way we drive or men because of the way they see women. There are so many other little judgmental assumptions that I could make as a human. This is a really much more difficult task than only acknowledging that there is a problem. At school, for example, I am guilty of falling back into my native language, Spanish, which can make really uncomfortable other people who do not speak the same language. Any difference that we have with another human being can potentially become a threatening situation if we do not learn to respect and accept each other's point of view and acknowledge when we have made a mistake. Acceptance and respect are the key to successful interacting with others. Although I am Latino and Spanish is my first language, it sounds funny to other Spanish speakers from Central America and Mexico. I had to learn Spanish so I could teach my students and they could understand me better. When the Apostle Peter says, I now realize how true it is that God does not show favoritism, he's telling us that who are we to judge each other when the creator of the universe does not show favoritism? Humans want to box up God in our ways of thinking and behaving, which he cannot fit in. Therefore, many of us create our own ideas of acceptance towards others that are not only inaccurate but unfair. That is definitely not what I've been called to do. I've been called to serve others through education and to give each child the best opportunity to learn and be successful in life. Now, what assumptions do we make about people from different races, ethnicities, and cultures? Unfortunately, assumptions are not an indicator of reality. Quite the opposite. It is the mere idea one has formed in her mind about someone else, based on information that many times cannot be even confirmed. According to the English Oxford Living Dictionary, the definition of assumption is a thing that is accepted as true or as certain to happen without proof. People have asked me if I have met Pablo Escobar, for example, because I am from Colombia. A friend constantly jokes about how are things in Mexico because all Hispanics are from Mexico. We all make assumptions based, and forgive me for being so candid, on our ignorance. We all have heard things like all Asians are Chinese, all black people are lazy, Brazilians only party all the time, Islamics are all terrorists, white people are better than the rest of the people, United States is the best nation ever, all Europeans are rich, women cannot drive, and men are smarter than women, to say some. All these assumptions are only the result of comments, ideas, or wrong information derived from sources no one can remember. Unfortunately, sometimes we hear those louder than the facts we can prove. Assumptions are going to continue hurting us until we take a stand and start looking at each other as another human who thinks, looks, and acts differently than us. And that does not make anyone better or worse than each other, just different. To answer to the question of social and vacants, why is there a dichotomy where some students achieve and some students do not? Linda Harper said, as I think of the excellent care my brother received, I feel compelled to recognize that in education, we often do not follow this example. as she was narrating her personal experience of almost losing her brother after a motor vehicle accident. When I read her story, furthermore, when I read that statement, I got goosebumps and I feel terrible for the service that we have provided many of our children. We do not provide the best care for most of our students. We just give them some care if we compare it to her personal experience. Most of the times we focus on the bubble kids. Those are the kids who are performing at the borderline average because they just need a little push, and we tend to forget the low as well as high performing students. We constantly underserve students based on the performance of those we think we can save, not on the answer that we will probably give the hiring committee when they hire us, that all children can learn. I have always said that in a sport, you do not want to compete against the bottom ranking teams. Instead, to become a better player, you want to measure yourself up against the best team. Therefore, why do we want to give the best coaches only to the best students? Or the ones who are almost there? I believe this is the reason why some students can achieve their goals and some are being left behind. So, why is it important to develop equity in your classroom? Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Albert Einstein. Pretending that we all live and learn the same way is as wrong as saying that we all look exactly the same. Equity, as defined by Blankstein and Nogueira, is a commitment to ensure that every student receives what he or she needs to succeed. Equity will guarantee that education will not only be available for every student, but that each child will be served based on his specific needs. They will need to learn the same material, but they will do it through many different experiences and opportunities. Each student will be expected to learn using his own knowledge, skills, and abilities, as well as his own experiences and context. John Hatie says, the conclusion in visible learning work has as 6 signposts towards excellence in education as follows. Number 1. Teachers are among the most powerful influences in learning. Therefore, it's up to the educator to provide an environment of equity where every student learns at their own level under a safe and nurturing care. Now, how will this perspective affect what you teach and how would you teach it? Todd Whitaker shares in his book What Great Teachers Do Differently that no matter what the lesson plan covers, great teachers want their students to be more excited about learning tomorrow than they are today. I would love for every child that comes to my school to want to return the next day for more. Now, I understand better that only acknowledging and accepting that we all are diverse, we all learn in different ways, and we all think differently, we will open up doors to more honest conversation with our students. As we are physically different, the way that we understand new concepts is going to vary. Mastering a new concept does not make us smarter than the rest of the class, maybe just a little faster. Equity will help me see each student as an individual world of ideas, feelings, skills, abilities, dreams, and knowledge that is unique and cannot be cloned. In the classroom, students and teachers will discuss real-life experiences as well as videos such as children in the fields, colorblind or color brave, etc. So the discussion has a purpose and a solid background for all to learn. I will also be able to help teachers prepare themselves better for instruction as well as for the interactions with the students when they can also see that diversity is the opportunity to broaden our own knowledge of each other and to challenge ourselves in the way we present material to our students. This will no longer be a one-size-fits-all, because that is an unreal as buying as a shirt that says that to give as a gift to someone we do not know their true size. As Whitaker says, the best teachers and the worst teachers alike can ace exams in their undergraduate and graduate classes. The difference between more effective teachers and their least effective colleagues is not what they know, it is what they do. Thank you for watching the video, and following you will be able to find the references for the work.